Hey guys, welcome to the Max Invest YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through some news surrounding Chainlink and then some news surrounding Ethereum. The first thing that I do want to talk about is that it does seem like Chainlink is finally bouncing back. We've seen Chainlink get well over the $30 mark, and it looks like we're on our way to $40. Of course, I know a lot of you guys think $100 end of year is possible, and if we see Chainlink to continue to move at this rate at about 10 to 20% per day, we could see some good stuff happen. Of course, if you enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. So let's get into the video. Now, the first bit of information that I wanted to discuss is it looks like Chainlink longs are really starting to spike. Now, it is very interesting to see that a lot of people are opening up long positions with leverage on Bitfinex. Generally, if there's a huge spike in long positions, it means that some people know something. A lot of people are really leveraging up on their Chainlink, and they probably know something. So, of course, I do expect a bit of a price rise to start following this as this candle continues to go up. The last time Chainlink longs spiked massively was all the way back in May or April when Chainlink was going absolutely parabolic, and I expect this to be a good indicator into the future. However, we will need to see if all of these longs are correct about Chainlink's price action. Now, the next bit of news that I wanted to talk about is that Chainlink is partnering with the Terra network. If you don't know what the Terra network is, essentially Terra is an alternative layer 1 and it has a UST stablecoin. Terra is primarily focused on decentralized finance and focused on applications surrounding their stablecoin. However, Terra don't have that many decentralized finance applications on the platform. They only have a couple of big ones. They have decentralized applications like Anchor, which allow you to do lending and loaning. However, there aren't too many apps around, and their applications like Anchor are currently using centralized price feeds and a centralized data source. So overall, I haven't been too interested in Terra for this reason. However, Terra do have a very good stablecoin, which is UST, and they offer a very high yield for this stablecoin on their platform for a few mechanisms that I don't quite understand. However, just recently, Terra have done their Columbus 5 upgrade. Now, their Columbus 5 upgrade is meant to bring a lot of new applications onto Terra and a lot of new finance. Of course, when I saw this, I knew that Terra do need Chainlink to do a lot of DeFi. And of course, just a couple of weeks later, Terra announced that they're partnering with Chainlink. Of course, if Terra want to bring a lot of new apps onto their platform, they really do need Chainlink. And this is one of the interesting things about this partnership. Terra need Chainlink a lot more than Chainlink needs Terra. So this is very good for Chainlink. It's more value that Chainlink will be securing over the long term. However, if Terra actually wants to be a platform that can grow in the decentralized finance space, well, they're going to need Chainlink. Another thing that I wanted to point out about this deal is that it was made possible by a Chainlink community grant. Of course, the only way that these community grants can be paid for is by the Chainlink team selling Link tokens and then using this in order to pay for these community grants. So I did just want to point that out because a lot of people do get quite confused why the Chainlink team has to keep selling Link, and it's to fund more expansion into the ecosystem like this. And as we've seen, the price can start skyrocketing regardless of what the team's doing, and we've been seeing that right now in the past couple of weeks, and I expect this to continue with more and more bullish news coming out about Chainlink. The next bits of news that I wanted to discuss are surrounding Ethereum. On October the 27th, the Altair beacon chain upgrade is scheduled to activate on the Ethereum mainnet. Essentially, what this is going to do is it's going to provide the beacon chain, and the beacon chain is currently the chain that is facilitating the merge to proof of stake with better client support, patches, and it's going to help out with validator inactivity. So essentially what the Altair upgrade is trying to do is it's trying to push Ethereum towards Ethereum 2.0. It's one of the upgrades that is required for us to eventually get to 2.0 and eventually proof of stake. Of course, If you're actually running an Ethereum validator node, you will need to update this client, and you'll probably need to do it before October the 27th, otherwise your funds are unsafe. Anyway, I did want to point that bit of news out. It's more of a technical bit of news and more for developers and validators. However, I thought I would discuss it anyway. Now, the next thing is that Ethereum just a couple of days ago passed every single financial company in the world. As we can see, Ethereum just passed JPMorgan in market capitalization, being over $503 billion, which is absolutely huge. Of course, this is also bigger than other networks like Visa, and Ethereum is doing absolutely fantastic. Now, a lot of people point to this metric and say, hey, Ethereum does seem a little bit overvalued here. Why is Ethereum bigger than all of the biggest banks in the world? However, it's important to remember that annualized, Ethereum is earning roughly $15 billion in revenue every single year, and this is the same as some companies which are even bigger than it. If we look at something like Tesla, Tesla earns the same amount of revenue as Ethereum, but it is double the market cap. And of course, I think Ethereum is a lot more in store than a lot of these companies. Essentially, in my opinion, a lot of these bigger companies will become centralized applications on Ethereum. So, what I mean by this is JPMorgan are going to be using Ethereum to facilitate all of their payments, and they're going to be using their smart contracts in a different way. Same as Visa, same as PayPal, and same as all of these big companies. I really do believe that a lot of these are going to go onto crypto rails, start using layer 2s, start using their own layer 2s, and they really will be centralized applications on top of Ethereum. So, the ultimate goal of Ethereum is that overall it'll be one big platform. There'll be a whole bunch of different applications on it, a lot of them decentralized. However, some of the other applications will be these huge companies, and this should allow Ethereum to push well beyond these companies. I do think that Ethereum is going well beyond $500 billion, and I think that it's going to be well into the trillions by the end of this decade. However, we will just need to wait and see. Regardless, this news is very bullish, and I do think this is actually very fair. So, the last bit of news is surrounding Budweiser. If you didn't know, Budweiser bought beer.eth a couple of months ago for about $100,000. Essentially, this means that Budweiser basically have a domain name or an Ethereum name service name. What this means is it's very similar to regular domain names. If you have a domain name like Amazon.com, it helps you navigate Amazon on the internet. If you have a domain name like beer.eth, it helps you navigate beer on Etherscan. So Budweiser have already gotten into this, and it is quite interesting to see. Essentially, Brantley.eth, who is the founder of the Ethereum name services, wrote to Budweiser and said, why hasn't Budweiser changed their Twitter name to beer.eth? However, Budweiser responded with a very, very interesting response. What they said is it takes time and patience to brew a good beer. Can't wait to show you all what we've been brewing. Now, in my opinion, this is very, very interesting, as it shows Budweiser have a lot of big plans in store for using the Ethereum ecosystem. Essentially, what Budweiser are saying here is they're saying, we already begun using Ethereum a couple of months ago buying beer.eth, however we have a lot of big plans in store. Of course, Budweiser could do heaps and heaps of massive things with Ethereum. They could store their data on it, they could do a whole bunch of different things related to beer, and it would be very, very interesting to see what they've done. Of course, they have already alluded to some big news coming out about them, and I can't wait for this news. Essentially, every time I see a company starting to adopt Ethereum or adopt cryptocurrencies, you know they're going to go further. They start using a little bit, and then 6 months to 1 year later, they start using it even more and even more. That's the benefit of a platform a bit like Ethereum. You can just keep using it for more and more stuff. Of course, we have a good case study. We know that Visa bought a CryptoPunk, and now Visa are planning to do all of their payments on top of Ethereum. So it would be interesting to see if Budweiser also do this, and it is some cool news. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.